The John LeBang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Scheduled programming to bring you a show on the edge, broadcasting worldwide and out to the greater universe. You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to another fabulous hour of the John LeBang Show. Hope you're doing well. Hope the snow's not getting you too badly. We're inundated with it again. At least it hasn't accumulated to where we're suffering on the driving conditions or having to dig out of some kind of major snow blast. But they're talking that more is coming, cold weather. Damn Farmer's Almanac, wrong. Or at least I think it's wrong, because I believe reading that they said it was going to be a mild winter. Of course, I didn't read deep enough in there. See, that's what happens when you don't look into a subject deep enough. You're not ready, because they might have said, we're going to have early snowfall here, and it's going to be cold early on, and then it's going to mellow out, and we'll have an early spring. I don't know. I just remember seeing the headline, and that's why you can't trust headlines. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about some headlines that you can't trust. Others you can trust. We've got some interesting subjects on the docket. One of them is going to be, if you didn't know, there are witches in the United States, and we're going to talk about that a little later on in the broadcast. Somebody is suing British Airways, and we'll tell you why. And, of course, we've got some modern love and relationship news also on the docket. But we begin with you ladies out there. I'd like to get your opinion, because a brand new study came out saying that men with beards are more attractive. Now, this new study shows men who have full beards are more attractive than men who are clean shaven. The study was published by the Journal of Evolutionary Biology. Researchers asked more than 8,500 women to rate men on their attractiveness as a long-term romantic partner. Now, here's how the facial hair was rated. Though number one was heavy stubble, about 10 days. That's about where I'm at right now. Maybe I'm a little further down than that. I'm growing a beard for different reasons. I'm not trying to attract women. I'm trying to get ready to do some filming, and I need a beard in some of the scenes. Second most attractive is a full, complete beard. Does that mean ZZ Top style? I'm not sure. But apparently, women like men with full beards as well. Light stubble, so that's being lazy a couple days, maybe, the 5 o'clock shadow. That's the third best. And then clean shaven, the fourth best. They don't have goatee in there. They don't have mustache in there. They don't have porn stash. They don't have a Fu Manchu. There are so many other designs for facial hair. Even the little caterpillar some of these guys have. I know a guy right now who has one. Abu has a caterpillar. He's not here right now, or we talk to him about it, if it makes him more or less attractive to women. But apparently women in this modern age, contemporary women, prefer men with facial hair. Now the question I'm asking is, why did men start growing facial hair? Well, we may get to that, and we might get to some phone calls to hear what you have to say. According to this study, though, beards may be more attractive to women when considering long-term rather than short-term relationships, as a beard indicates a male's ability to successfully compete socially with other males for resources. How women would relate a beard to responsibility. A lot of times, most of these beards that you see are not very well groomed. So to me, that shows a little bit of hygiene irresponsibility, but maybe that's because they're too busy making money. These guys with beards just grow beards. Even the ugly guys, you've noticed more beards these days. That's why it caught my interest, because I've seen a lot of people wearing beards. Unlike me, who grows it only to do some filming, other people like to grow it, and apparently it's to bring in the chicks. I had no idea. And apparently they like beards. Now in the study, again, they didn't talk about goatees or porn stashes or Fu Manchus or other forms of facial hair, the Tony Stark type hair. So I'm interested in hearing what you women have to say. Are you interested in men, or more interested in men who have beards? And what kind of beard do you prefer? Do you prefer the light stubble? Do you prefer a goatee? Do you like the porn stash? What kind of facial hair do you like? And in the companion story, we have a Modern Love article. The title reads, Cohabitation on the Rise in the U.S. Shows Demographic Trends. This is in Bloomberg. It says, living together is becoming more popular than marriage for young American couples.
Oh, baby.
According to Census Bureau data, 15% of people in the 25 to 34 age group share quarters with an unmarried partner this year, up from 12% in 2008. Among those being 18 to 24, cohabitation is more prevalent today than marriage, with 9% living with an unmarried partner versus 7% living with a spouse. 15 years ago, only 0.1% of people between 18 and 24 years of age and 0.2% between 25 and 34 lived with an unmarried partner. There's probably a couple reasons for that. One, it's probably because their parents weren't married and they had been living with people at an older age, and it's just become a trend in the United States. There are less people who stayed married and stay married for the duration of their life. And if you were unfortunate enough to be divorced at an early age and you didn't remarry, but there is a possibility you moved in with someone, maybe you were both soured on marriage, and you moved in with somebody. Well, if you had any children, or if there were any children that came from the prior marriage, or in many cases these days, a single mom who was never married and who's just happy to have someone to cohabitate with besides her kids. So the kids grow up with this stuff. They've seen it. We're 10 years down the road since the last study of this. Those kids who were maybe 12, 13, 14, maybe teenagers are now old enough to do these sort of things, and they thought, well, mom was doing it or dad was doing it. That's what we do these days. No one was married or no one stayed married, so it didn't matter. See, the more the family falls apart, the more we're going to have stuff like this where people want to be together, although I think this study might also calculate gay or lesbian couples, and they didn't normally calculate that in the past. So that might also be a small percentage that is increased since then. I can't tell because this article by Bloomberg does not offer any source material for you to link to, so we got to take all this information with a grain of salt. Could be propaganda for all we know. We should also take into account that there's probably people just living together because it is a hell of a lot cheaper to live when you have two incomes coming in and you only have one roof to pay, one set of bills. And although these days people tend to keep a lot of things separate from each other, which has its bonuses and its downfalls, these days you're better off keeping your money to yourself. But traditionally it was better to put it together, combine it so you could grow it as one. But that's probably why we have more debt. Because now everybody can spend without asking their partner, because their partner is really just a partner. It's not a husband or wife because the family's been broken up. What I would like to know is, do men with beards have more wives or do they have more domestic partners? Or at least Bloomberg doesn't give us those statistics. Are those statistics available? Do men with beards have more domestic partners or do they have more wives? Is there a difference? Is the percentage the same? Is it different? We may never know, folks. We've got to take a quick time out. But on the other side of this, we'll talk about high school bannings and witches and so many other things. Coming right at you. Don't go anywhere now.
John will be right back right after this.
Yes, he will. Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-'70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births, and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled, and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now.
You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
Join the radio revolution right here.
It's better than some good Thai stick, man. Yes, I would like some too. Hey, man, can I ask you something? Who, me? Yeah, man, I'm talking to you, man. Okay, what do you want? Listen, do you want to play some hockey, man? I'm looking for some people to play some hockey, man. Well, I only played hockey on the video game. What you mean you only played on the video game, man? This is Detroit, eh? We got the Red Wings and all. I know they ain't so good anymore, but hell, man, we used to be a hockey town, man. Well, I'm not from around here. Where you from, man? Oh, I'm from Iraq and Syria. A crack in Sylvia? Is that girl down by the end of the street, man? No, that is my home. What you call it, man? Iraq and Syria. Never heard of it, man. You want to play some hockey or what? Okay, it sounds fun. All right, man. Do you know anybody else that want to play hockey, man? Well, I can go ask my friends. Well, let's go, man. Let's get some people together and play some hockey, man. Okay, well, come on. We'll go this way. All right, man. That's what I'm talking about. So what's your name, man? Oh, I am Abu. Oh, well, I'm Gooberfish, man. You got a stick, man? Yeah, well, I have a broomstick at work. No, not a broomstick, man. A hockey stick. Well, I don't think so. Well, how you going to play hockey if you ain't got no hockey stick, man? Well, I told you, I only played in the game. How much further we got to walk, man? I'm getting tired. Oh, we got to go down the street and make a left and then a right, and we'll be there very soon. Hey, don't you have a car, man? This is America, man. You're supposed to be driving a car. Well, we only have one vehicle right now. Who's we, by the way, man? All my friends. Well, they better be good at hockey or something, man. Get out that trash, dog. You don't like doggies? Not the stray ones, man. Those stray dogs, they come up and eat your garbage all the time, man. Then they poop in your front yard. Oh, that's not very nice. You telling me, man, when you got some random poop in your front yard, what you supposed to do? I don't know. Clean it up? That's the problem, man. You always got to clean up other people's crap. I have to do that at work all the time. Hell, I quit that job then. Well, that's what I'm paid for. Well, you wouldn't need a job, dude, if everybody cleaned their own stuff up. Did you ever think of that? Thank you for the information. No problem, man. That's what I'm here for.
You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
It's hydroponic radio for your brain, man. Feel smarter yet? If you're wondering why I'm covering these subjects, I had a request to do some more weird news, some different stuff. A high school that is banning certain type of jackets so the poor kids won't feel bad that they didn't get those cool jackets for Christmas. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. A school says, yeah, it can be tough for anyone to have the added anxiety of struggling to keep up when it comes to cool